Hello, welcome. This is my drumming and this is part 14. So today we're going to have a look at a song by Nirvana and the song is called Come As You Are. We're going to get straight into it just because there's a few beats to run through, and so we'll start now with beat 1 or pattern 1. Now pattern 1, as you can see from the music is here, so you can have a look at it first. And then pattern 1 is 3 simple beats right at the beginning of the song, which is just 1, 2, 3 beats on the high, medium and low tom. So just that's it. That's pattern 1 done. Now pattern 2 is one of the main beats that goes throughout the song, and there's variations of this pattern throughout the song. Sometimes it's played on the ride cymbal, sometimes it's played with the crash cymbal going at the same time, but the way pattern 1 goes is there's 4 lots of 4. So we're going to break it down into 2 lots of 8. So the first lot of 8, the snare drum comes on the 3 and the 7, with the bass drum on 1, 5, 6 and 8. Okay. The second lot of 8, the snare drum comes again on the 3 and the 7, with the bass drum coming on 1, 2, 4, 6 and 8. This is how pattern 2 goes. I'll play it through a couple of times just so you can hear how the bass drum at the beginning and the bass drum at the end sort of goes round in a loop and starts as it ends, if that makes sense. So here it goes. So I actually ended that beat with 1 extra bass drum as if it was going to go round in the loop again, but hopefully you get the gist of how it should go. Pattern 3 is exactly the same, but instead of everything being played on the ride, the first beat is just on the cymbal. So it's that's it. Same beat, but just crash on beat 1. Pattern 4 is identical again, just with one real small difference, and that's an extra snare drum beat. Now the snare drum beat comes in on the 4.5 in the first lot of 8. So it's just a okay. So with everything else, this is how it goes. Pattern 4. Right, so pattern 5 is coming in to the chorus. Now this, instead of being 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's just crash cymbals on the 1 and the 3, and so again it's 2 lots of 8 with crash cymbals on the 1, the 3, the 5 and the 7, with the snare drum coming in on the 3 and the 7 and the bass drum coming in on 1, 5 and 6. So that's the first lot of 8. The second lot of 8 is cymbal and bass drum on the 1, and then the rest is quavers on the snare drum with a bass drum at the beginning of each one. So I'll play that through now how it goes. Pattern 6 is the same as pattern 5, but instead of quavers being played on just the snare drum, they come in on the floor tom as well, and then there's a snare drum slap with a bass drum afterwards. So I'll play pattern 6 through for you now. So slowly, the second part of it is. Okay. Right, pattern 7 is virtually the same again, but instead of the quavers coming in, there is just a snare bass, snare bass, snare bass, snare bass. So I'll play through pattern 7. Pattern 8 comes through in the middle of the song, and I guess the easy way to explain that is in 2 chunks of 8 again. The bass drum comes in on the 1 and the 2, the 5 and the 6 in each time, and the snare drum comes in on the 3 and the 7, the 3 the next time round, and the 7, but with a quaver after the final 7. There's a mixture of cymbals and hi-hats, so one of the easiest things to do, I think, is just to play it through so you can see how it goes. So this is pattern 8. Pattern 9 is very similar to the patterns that we started right at the beginning, so patterns 2, 3, 4, 5, things like that. But instead of being on the ride all the time, it's the crash cymbal, and instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's just 1, 3, 5, 7, so on the odd beats. So I'll play that through now for you, and it's still got that extra snare drum coming in just at the difference between the 4 and the 5, so 3 and then 4 and. I'll show you how this goes. So pattern 10 is similar to pattern 9, but at the end, because it's the end of the song, as that pattern is coming through, there's just a double snare drum and then a triple bass drum played with cymbals, and that's then the end of the song. So this is what I'm talking about. This is one of the things that you can count it through. It becomes quite hard because the cymbals are coming on the 1, 3, 5 and 7, and the bass drum's coming in at separate times, the snare drum's coming in at separate times. So have a look at the music and try and keep up with what I'm playing as you're looking at the music. So pattern 10 is this. Hopefully it makes more sense to listen to rather than to listen to me talking about it. So the end is, so double snare and then 3 on the bass, whilst these are going on the odd beats. Okay, so that was pattern 10. Quick blast through of all of them. Hopefully that was okay and that you understood what was happening. I'm now going to play through the song in its entirety. This is Come As You Are by Nirvana. Okay, so that was the song all the way through. There was a couple of bits where I think I could have picked up on things maybe a bit better, but see if you can spot them, see if you can notice where you can do better. You can try the patterns and make sure they're perfect all the way through. So I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you enjoyed playing along. As ever, any questions please ask, and I'll see you in number 15. Cheers, goodbye.